We're going to have a very important discussion in the next half an hour to 40 minutes. The age of misinformation has got a very high-tech upgrade with the rise of deep fakes. These are AI-generated forgeries which can seamlessly swap faces, you can mimic voices, you can even craft very convincing narratives. You can take two people and you can put their faces together in a video together. In India, the potential for deepfake-driven disinformation is particularly worrisome given the country's diverse population and our vibrant social media landscape. Today, everybody here has a smartphone and they have access to all social media apps. We're very proud of the fact that the internet is very cheap in our country and is accessible to most of the population. However, fake news, hate speech, which is already rampant online, this could possibly be amplified with hyper-realistic deepfakes that could potentially incite social unrest and jeopardize national security. Now imagine a doctored video of a religious leader making some sort of inflammatory remarks, or a fabricated video of a political personality or any personality for that matter. And the reason why I say this is because deepfakes as a concept have not even spared the Prime Minister of the country. Prime Minister Modi has flagged the misuse of AI or artificial intelligence for creating deepfake videos, including his own, and called it a very big concern. By citing a deepfake video of him doing Garba, which you can see on your screens right now, the Prime Minister literally said that we need to watch out for what AI is capable. Imagine someone was able to make it seem as though the Prime Minister was dancing in Gujarat. Let's quickly listen into what happened there.
इस सदी को तबाह करने में भी सबसे बड़ी भूमिका निभा भी सकता है। डीपफेक का चैलेंज आज पूरी दुनिया के सामने है। आतंकियों के हाथ में एआई टूल्स के आने का भी बहुत बड़ा खतरा है। एआई के अनेक पॉजिटिव पहलू हैं, लेकिन इससे जुड़ी नेगेटिव बातें भी उतनी ही चिंता का विषय है। एआई 21वीं सदी में विकास का सबसे बड़ा टूल बन सकता है और 21वीं सदी को तबाह करने में भी सबसे बड़ी भूमिका निभा भी सकता है। डीपफेक का चैलेंज आज पूरी दुनिया के सामने है। इसके अलावा साइबर सिक्योरिटी, डेटा थेफ्ट और आतंकियों के हाथ में एआई टूल्स के आने का भी बहुत बड़ा खतरा है।
It's not just, however, the Prime Minister who's raised this, it's also Narayan Murthy, the founder of Infosys, who has fallen prey to this sort of technology. He said that there are deepfake pictures and videos of him circulating on social media, cautioning users to not fall prey to such issues. And this is, of course, not it. Big faces like Elon Musk, Rashmika Mandanna, Hillary Clinton, Steve Jobs, Shah Rukh Khan, Morgan Freeman, many others have also fallen prey to this new technology. Talking about the same, however, Supreme Court Justice Surya Kant, serving as a chief guest at the second Law and Constitution dialogue presented by NewsX and Legally Speaking, voiced his concerns about the societal risks that are posed by the growing menace of deep fakes. Justice Surya Kant emphasized the pivoting role of media as a bridge between the legal realm and the public. And he remarked, and I'm quoting here, the media can bolster and also undermine the power of justice. Building upon his previous speech at the first dialogue in November 2022 regarding the media's responsibility in legal reportage, he urged the media to adhere to the principles of truth, objectivity and accuracy in its reporting. However, a major portion of Justice Surya Kant's address was dedicated to the impact of social media with a specific focus on the alarming rise of deep fakes. He said deepfake is manipulating perceptions and it compromises the foundation of truth and trust, which is a matter of grave concern. This is what the justice has had to say at our platform on NewsX. We quickly listen in to exactly what it was that he said, and then I have a lot of tech experts to take this conversation forward with me. Listen in.
Foundations of truth and trust, which is a matter of grave concern. While deepfakes pose serious societal risks that demand attention from various perspectives, concerted actions are needed across technical, regulatory, educational, and ethical domains to curb their harms and ensure artificial intelligence progresses humanity in a direction of truth and understanding. As a community, we need to equip people with the skills to critically evaluate digital content and understand the potential risks posed by deepfakes. Collective commitment to responsible artificial intelligence development is equally necessary. Tech developers and practitioners should adhere to ethical values that prioritize transparency, accountability, and the protection of user privacy. I wish to say that in this era of interconnectedness, addressing these challenges demands a collective effort. We, as individuals, hold the power to shape the online world. With this power also comes the responsibility.
Okay, all right. So there you heard it, what Justice Surya Kant had to say. Let me now bring in our experts, Major Vineet Kumar with us, Nikhil Goyal also with us, Ajay, data tech expert with us, Khushbu Jain also with us, and Ashwini Dubey, lawyer of the Supreme Court, also with us on the broadcast. Let me begin with Major Vineet Kumar. Major Kumar, important points there being raised by the Prime Minister of the country, now a Justice of the Supreme Court, also raising the same at our dialogue last evening. What is it that is being done within the tech world? Because several people are raising concerns, but what is it that really now needs to be done in terms of curbing this entire menace of deepfakes before it becomes a very genuine problem?
Yes, actually, technology, if technology is posing as a challenge, and in this case, emerging tech, AI-enabled misinformation, deepfakes, and a lot of related challenges that are coming, I feel that technology only has a solution. So there are a lot of technology tools that are being made to kind of detect these synthetic content or deepfake or AI-generated content. So there are measures that are being developed where I strongly feel that platforms have a major role here in terms of detecting these kind of a content and proactive taking measures on this content so that it does not spread fast like a wildfire. The other thing is regulations. So the regulations that are there, in fact, we already have the DPDP Act here, the IT rules are there. And in fact, government has taken out the advisory, there are something more regulations that are going to come in place. So these regulations should address deepfakes through detection, prevention, reporting, and awareness, also emphasizing on proactive and time-sensitive measures, which I feel is extremely, extremely important as we move forward. Other than that, because what I see on the ground, and this is what Cyber Peace also sees on the ground, that a lot of average netizens, those who are kind of first-time users of internet, or those who have just joined the internet and they're just using internet for accessing their, we are facing a challenge today, and they should be made aware, and there is a need of more cyber first responders in the community who can help netizens in detecting such a kind of synthetic content and quickly reacting to it or responding to it.
Okay, let me bring in Nikhil Goyal into the conversation as well. Nikhil, what do you make now of the concerns that are coming out against this deepfake technology? Because like I said, for now it is all fun and games. The sort of videos that we see online, some of them are just people making memes and people making some silly videos. We've also seen several of the Prime Minister now, people being able to mimic his voice. before this truly becomes very, very troubling, as it has happened in Rashmika Mandana's case, where, you know, she was very troubled by this video that was released of hers, and rightly so. What is it that can be done rapidly? Because you've seen now leaders of the world gathering and also talking about it. There was a summit that was recently held in England as well on the same. And several global leaders, including the UK Prime Minister, came and said that we rapidly need to look into this matter. Elon Musk has also raised his concern. So we see the big voices, global leaders as well as the tech voices raising concerns. But is there something, Nikhil, as per you, that can genuinely be done to at least differentiate a deepfake video from a non-deepfake video? Nikhil, please unmute yourself.
Sorry. Hi everybody. Thanks for having me. I think it's a pure case of new world, new problems, new solutions. There wasn't enough data back in the day to fill a floppy disk. Today you have AI and blockchain and big data and everything else coming in. So it's just a new world and a new problem. And I'm 100% sure with the crazy heads that we have around the world, we'll be able to solve this as well. So that's my belief. What we probably can do is it is troubling. It is highly troubling, and it could come back to haunt you in more ways than we know it. Right now, there's a lot of public. We know PM Modi won't be doing that, so it really didn't fall well. But I heard there are a lot of scams going around where parents are getting calls in the voices of their kids in trouble, and a lot of scams are happening. So I think it is troublesome, and it is attacking people in different ways. How can we handle it is probably time will tell, because I think the hackers are today faster than the makers, and they're just a step ahead. But maybe blockchain, maybe quantum computing in the future, maybe more involvement of authorization of data, more involvement of decentralization of data. A lot of this ownership of data today cannot be just in the air, everybody owning it, or the big brothers owning it. So I think a lot of this is coming from data collection, data ownership. A lot of this is coming from how relevant and how, I'll be honest, not many people around the world even today think that the data is important. So I think the whole mentality towards data will probably take a major change, and addressing the point will be easier then.
Okay, Ajay Dada, on a more practical side of things, we're living in a world where AI now allows you to make websites within minutes, allows you to create mobile apps in a couple of minutes, in a few hours. In this sort of a world then, is there something that we need to proactively do to educate ourselves while the tech experts and the global leaders put their heads together on how is it that this problem can be solved on a larger scale? What is it that I can perhaps do to educate people? We've seen in the past that there have been, there was a lot of fake news that used to circulate online, and then so many people came up as agencies that bust fake news. Is there some sort of mechanism then that is required for this particular purpose as well?
Yeah, thank you. I think we have to take a step back and understand a little bit of AI. This is not not everyone understands fully AI about itself. Forget about the deepfake. And AI brings these kind of things in a very fast way, very accurate and undetectable. Misinformation, propaganda, security threats, legal and ethical concerns, personal and social harm, economical impact, undermining trust in media. This all will happen. This all cannot be probably avoided. And I am sorry to create a danger here, this is undetectable as of now, and this is likely to remain undetectable for long. And we work in AI quite a bit in this area, and I can tell you this is not new. This is evolving, and this is evolving faster than we can think, and it is going deeper and deeper than we can imagine. There are many solutions, and there are solutions for each different threat which poses, and a different solution. There is no one solution fits for all. And to me, just like Major will agree with me, Major Vineet, that you can have a gun and gun can kill everybody. The only solution is, what is the solution? The illegal use of the gun is the law. You can't stop a gun against a gun and just stop it, detect it. It doesn't help. We need to have in technology, we have an advantage of little aid of the technology and little bit of detection possible. That will be a lot of false positives for sure. And we can have technology which can aid us, but can it fully detect? Answer is no. We really don't know what's happening in every part of the AI as of now. There is a lot which is happening. It is evolving, and we have to understand that. Last 2 years before, if you will appreciate my point, just 2 years before, nobody was talking about AI, which is not new. It's a 50-year-old development we just saw in last 2 years. So we have to appreciate that whatever we are seeing is just not last 2 years effort, last 50 years effort. And there is a whole world to know about last 50 years effort will take some time. We are just seeing the end result of it. And the things which are happening around are going to be impacting largely into every area of the society. Deepfake is one of them. The usage could be just the last 30 seconds, just a example of dancing, mimicking, singing somebody. They are all obviously okay from the entertainment perspective, and there could be a policy around, there could be a law around. Imagine there is a prime minister to prime minister talk released on the web. It can just completely destabilize everything. World Bank is talking to the RBI governor, and you have this video available. There is a lot which can happen, and it can just destabilize everything. We cannot just have singular law for the country, for the state. We need to, or the world has to think that how we are there to deal possibly around it. Yeah.
So exactly. Khushbu, bringing you in on that point, the problem today is the speed at which information and social media posts travel and how fast they go viral. Now, we've seen, at least on Twitter, they have a very strict policy. There used to be so many parody accounts of important people. So Twitter came out with some sort of a policy that, okay, an official account, a paid account will have a blue tick, but your government authorities will all have a grey tick. And they've also made sure that anybody that's a parody account has to then mention in the account's description that this is a parody account. And if you fail to do so, then your account will be suspended. There are some measures that Twitter, like I said, has taken to that extent. Is there then something that people who may be putting out these sort of memes right now just for fun and entertainment, that they can also do? That if I'm putting out a video which is purely for entertainment purposes, which is someone singing a song in some leader's voice, or anything funny like that, then I at least mention somewhere that this is a deep fake video. At least is there some responsibility and ownership that people who are using this technology, do they need to rapidly take that while we come out with a larger solution for this?
See, absolutely. As you rightly said, that the speed at which these things, these messages or these videos or these audios get spread using social media platform is unimaginable. At the same time, if you want to bring onus to people, I think it is difficult that you ask people to do something like that without having any rules, regulations, or a guideline given by the platform itself. So if you bring in a rule or a guideline in place which makes sure that these platforms have to make sure that it is in their policy that users cannot upload anything without putting it, if it's a deep fake or it's a real one, if it's a fake or it's a real one, and put that as a button over there, provide that as a mechanism. So it cannot be just users. I think the platforms have to change their entire user interface or bring in that option. We are seeing that how platforms are changing their entire user interface and coming up with nuances of technologies in place or options in place. So it's high time that some changes come over there. At the same time, if we'll see, we do have law in place which says that none of the fake information can be spreading on social media platform. And in the event of finding that it is viral, platforms have to take it down. And in the event they don't take it down, their liability also is, they are also equally part of it. We do have that in place. I think what we're looking right now is understanding that what is deepfake and what is not. That itself is a challenge which we are seeing today with the way AI has developed. It's becoming very cheap, and the precision of these videos are very high that it is difficult for a naked eye like you and me to understand what is real and what is not real. That's where they bring in the aspect that I think these platforms have to go a little step ahead, which they are going also. They're coming together, wherein they need to have detection mechanism in place in their own platform. So let's say you and me have posted some videos without putting that button that this is a fake video for whatever education purpose or some other purpose. If we have not utilized it, they can give us a warning, or that video can go down, or we can be blocked after some warnings. So some mechanism has to come, but all these mechanisms will go in vain if we can't have something called as a technology which can detect in real time. And platforms are the one where spreading of these news happen a lot. These kind of messages spread a lot. So platforms have to take an initiative of bringing in that technology in place so that it can work in real time. And I think there are Facebook, Meta and others have come together to bring in some kind of technology in this space. But how much they implement and how transparent they are on that is something yet to be seen.
Right, absolutely. Let me bring in Ashwini Dubey as well. Ashwini Dubey, from the perspective of the law, where do you see that headed? Because, like I said, it was yesterday Justice Surya Kant at our dialogue on NewsX, expressing his concern about deepfake and the risks that AI today poses to humanity at large. So, as far as the law is then concerned, is there something that can be done on that front as well, and how rapidly is it that certain laws can then be developed?
Yes, as of now, if we talk about the existing laws, the India lacks specific laws to address the deep fakes and artificial intelligence related to crimes. There are plethora of legislations that could offer both civil and criminal relief, which we may say, like the Section 66A of the Information Technology Act, which is applicable in cases of deepfake crimes that involves the capture, publication, transmission of persons' images in mass media, thereby violating their privacy. That punishment takes time, and that process is there. But the way social media is evolving and this deepfake technology evolving, for that we have to have a lot. Recently, you just mentioned about that the X and other social media platforms are now regulated because there is an intermediary guidelines introduced by the parliament. Intermediary guidelines first were brought into effect in 2020, and then 2021, when those were not effective, then again it was brought into, and it was said that, look, you have to have a mechanism and this technology where you can ensure that nothing can come which is fake or which is violative of any Indian laws. Earlier also there was a lot of tussle was going on with the Twitter and other social media platforms, but intermediary guidelines brought into effect, and now to some extent that have been regulated. Here also the way technology is evolving, like the misinformation is spreading, disaffection towards the government, this is called, then we have to brought this within the limits of sedition, the digital publications using deepfakes, the corrupt practices affecting elections, then you have to brought into within the limit, within the domain of the election commission, then the cyber terrorism, digital and corporate frauds, and the online obscenity and pornography, hate speech, fake news, online defamation, identity theft affecting privacy, both bodily and data. And the third most important point, data sovereignty. As of now, if we see, we are not Atmanirbhar in data. We are still depending on other countries. Like something is, we share something on the social media that is being used somewhere in Uzbekistan, somewhere in Somalia. We don't have any check and balance. For that, we have to have our own data in our country sufficient enough to cater the requirement. This is one. Second, so far as the laws which are there existing, like the Criminal Procedure Code, Civil Procedure Code, Indian Penal Code, and damages, that is not existing because the technology evolving. Keeping in view that, government must be ready to cater these problems by bringing the legislation time and again. The society, the social media brought into new technology, the law will immediately come. And not only that, the experts, we need the experts who can cater this problem. Moment something is reported, immediately those agencies should start working, functioning, so that this can be catered. Now the Prime Minister, since the Prime Minister of this country has shown his concern, the Honorable Justice Surya, the upcoming Chief Justice of India, he has also shown his concern of the pioneer in judicial fraternity. Now something will bring into effect, but as of now, we don't have anything which can ensure that nothing is violative and no others' videos or photos or voices are not being misused in order to cheat the other people. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring in Major Vineet Kumar as well into the conversation. Major Vineet Kumar, like I said, while the laws are being made and while the tech platforms are coming up with their own solutions, hopefully someone out there is working on developing, as Khushbu said, some sort of technology that can help you detect. You know how Google has now it has that software where you can upload an image and actually go to the original image and figure out which was the original post. So those sort of technologies, of course, evolve with time and need, and hopefully something to detect automatically deepfake videos will also come in time. But while we wait on that, what is it that we as society then rapidly need to do? Which is where I started this conversation with. Do we now need to practically look at perhaps educating people around us? Because, you know, it's honestly speaking, it's not you and I that are really falling for these videos anyway, right? When I look at some video on Instagram or Twitter in the Prime Minister's voice, I know that it's not him. I know that someone's using technology to fool around. But that's not necessarily the case with all the people. So to assume that everybody can tell the sort of nuances, those little bits of, that give it away still when it's a fake video, how is it that we now need to move rapidly towards educating masses at large?
Yes, I mean, that's a very important thing. Awareness, I feel, building the capacity, not just for the end users, even the investigators, on how do you detect these kind of synthetic content, whether it is audio, video. And like I mentioned earlier, it's basically those common netizens who are there, they are affected in a major way. And basically they are being manipulated. Technology-wise, there are technology. It's not something that we need to wait. There are technologies which can help in labeling and watermarking deepfakes that can kind of differentiate between natural and synthetic content that exists. Something that I'm aware of, there's some good amount of work being done by our Cyber Peace Center of Excellence in Mumbai, Sakek, Mumbai. There's another IIT Jodhpur has been doing phenomenal work in deepfake detection. So there are tools that are there. It's just taking this tool to the masses so that they can have, like in a form of an app, they have the tool and they can identify quickly whether this is a synthetic content or a natural content. That needs to be done. And these kind of first responders, like I mentioned earlier, the community first responders here would play a major role, because honestly speaking, you cannot stop technology. Technology, emerging tech will keep on growing. It's just how, like, I, as an aware end user, awareness is the key here. If I am aware and if I know that this content is not a natural content but a synthetic content or a deepfake related content, I can kind of identify and immediately kind of react. So that is something that would play a very important role when it comes to the end users and investigators. Again, especially those who are there on the ground, those who are basically the law enforcement first responders, they need to be kind of better aware, and the capacity needs to be built among themselves so that they can also kind of come. And when it comes to investigation and all, swiftness is something that matters here. Talk about any cyber crime, it's basically the same. You need to be swift in your responses. As soon as the content comes, as soon as you identify the content, you need to quickly act on that so that it does not spread like a wildfire. So as investigators, I need to be aware. Then comes the platform. platforms again have these kind of capabilities. Now it's not something that we need to wait. You saw that already in YouTube has already started flagging these kind of content. YouTube has also created a kind of a network of responders and content flaggers. They call it as trusted flaggers. So they have tied up community, and the community itself is kind of participating and contributing to flag those contents so that it can be taken down immediately. So all these things are there, but people...
Okay, Khushbu, I'm going to leave the last word to you, just 30 seconds. When we talk then about the role of the law in all of this, as Major Vineet Kumar was also pointing out, that certain technologies already exist. Does the law then come in place in terms of at least enforcing and ensuring that all the social media platforms that exist out there have these technologies, embedded in them?
No, we don't have that law in place, but we do have law in place which talks about that the onus is on social media platform that no fake news or misinformation or disinformation is spread on their platform. Hence, they don't want to be the breeder of spreading those kind of news. I think we have to bring in the onus over there, but we can't expect them to continuously keep on doing that. That's where the moment they have a knowledge about it, that's where they should act upon it, on an immediate basis. But at the same time, one has to understand a lot of damage would be already caused before some action can be taken. Hence, these kind of things have to be done by the government, where they should bring in some technology in place, which at least in the Indian jurisdiction, wherever that is there, it is being looked into, and that has been done on a real time. One has to also understand that these technological efforts, though they are underway to develop robust detection mechanism, one has to understand these technological advancements in combating this proliferation of deepfake is very high. Hence, we also need to keep on evolving every minute. Every minute is what I'm saying. And it's not just them, but us, lawyers, judges, experts, everybody around have to understand how this has to go on. We are not even touching the aspect how judiciary would be impacted, and what will happen when it comes to evidence and other things. That's a different Pandora box altogether.
Absolutely, very rightly pointed out, and we will of course take that conversation forward.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.